She was not dying from wounds. She was not dying from poison. She was dying because reality itself was rejecting her. And the only thing keeping her alive was a human hand. Dr. Elena Cross had faced many strange discoveries in deep space. But nothing had prepared her for this. The distress signal came from empty space beyond the research station New Horizon. It carried patterns no human system should recognize. The AI confirmed it was real. One life form. Unknown species. Rapidly destabilizing. Elena did not wait for permission. 43 minutes later, her small survey craft hovered beside a ship that looked like frozen starlight. Its surface shimmered between solid and transparent, as if unsure whether it wanted to exist. Inside, the air felt heavy. Not toxic. Just wrong. And at the center of the vessel, on a platform of glowing crystal, lay the alien woman. She was tall and luminous, with skin like pale glass lit from within. Faint rivers of silver light moved under her skin. Her eyes held swirling violet galaxies. Even weakened, she looked powerful. But that power was fading. Elena's scanner readings made no sense. The alien's biological structure was stable. No disease. No trauma. No organ failure. She was losing coherence. It was as if her body was slowly slipping out of this universe. Elena stepped closer. "Can you understand me?" The alien tried to speak. The sound was like music breaking apart. Elena placed her hand gently on the woman's arm. The moment they touched, everything changed. A pulse of energy surged through Elena's body, not painful, but overwhelming. Images flooded her mind. Stars collapsing. Cities made of light. A sky tearing open. And suddenly, the scanner readings stabilized. The alien's glow grew brighter. Her breathing steadied. Elena froze, staring at the data. "You're not sick," she whispered. "You're untethered." The alien's eyes focused. She nodded weakly. Elena's mind raced. The being was not fully part of this dimension. She existed partially outside normal space. Without connection to something fully anchored in reality, she would fade away. And somehow, human bioelectric fields, human consciousness, could anchor her. "Physical contact stabilizes you," Elena said softly. Another nod. Elena tried to remove her hand. Immediately the glow dimmed. The readings dropped sharply. The alien's body began dissolving at the edges like mist. Elena grabbed her again. Stability returned. The meaning was clear. The alien woman needed constant physical contact with a being fully rooted in this universe. She needed a human lifeline. Elena contacted the station. Commander Idris Hale responded with visible frustration. "Doctor, you are telling me this being survives by holding your hand?" "Yes." "That is not scientifically acceptable." Elena's voice stayed calm. "It is scientifically observable." The station's physics expert, Dr. Mara Iqbal, interrupted. "Commander, her data matches theoretical models of quantum phase displacement. If this species evolved in higher dimensional space, they may require entangled consciousness to stabilize in hours." "Speak plainly," Hale said. "They need us," Mara replied. Silence followed. Elena looked down at the alien. Through their connection she felt emotions, fear, relief, and something else. Loneliness. "You're not the only one, are you?" Elena asked quietly. A rush of images answered her. More ships. More fading lights. Refugees. Their home dimension was collapsing. They had escaped into physical space, but without anchors they were dissolving. Elena's heart pounded. Humanity had spent centuries searching for alien life. Now alien life was dying in their hands. Commander Hale's voice returned. "Dr. Cross, you have 24 hours to return with the specimen." "She's not a specimen," Elena replied firmly. "She's a person." 24 hours. The transmission ended. Elena looked back at the alien woman. "My name is Elena," she said softly. "I'm not leaving you." The alien tried to form words again. This time, the sound changed. Slower. More focused. Rail. Elena and Surail, Elena smiled. Okay. Hours passed. Elena adjusted her position to remain in contact while accessing her portable lab equipment. She used one hand to operate scanners while the other remained pressed to Surail's arm. The readings revealed something incredible. Human neural patterns were synchronizing with Surail's quantum field. Not overpowering it. Stabilizing it. Human brains were messy. Emotional. Creative. Chaotic. But that chaos made them deeply rooted in physical reality. And that grounding was what Surail needed. You evolved in a different kind of universe, Elena said softly. Your people probably never needed anchors before. Surail's response carried grief. Elena felt flashes of destruction, vast luminous structures breaking apart as dimensional walls fractured. Elena swallowed hard. You didn't lose a planet, she whispered. You lost existence. Surail squeezed her hand. Suddenly the ship trembled. Elena checked the external sensors. 3 more unknown vessels had appeared nearby. Their energy signatures were unstable. They were fading. Surail's emotional surge confirmed it. More of her people were arriving. And they were dying. Elena opened a priority channel. New Horizon, this is Dr. Cross. We have multiple incoming life forms experiencing dimensional destabilization. Immediate assistance required. Commander Hale's face appeared again. Doctor, we are not prepared for extraterrestrial refugees. Then prepare, Elena said calmly. Because if we don't act now, we will watch an entire civilization vanish. Silence. Then Dr. Mara Iqbal spoke again. Commander, if human neural fields stabilize them, we don't need technology.
What do you propose?
Hale asked. Mara answered carefully.
We propose humanity.
Elena understood immediately. They didn't need machines. They needed people. Hundreds of human minds. Creative. Emotional. Stubbornly real. The 3 alien ships drifted closer, their light flickering. Surail's grip tightened. Elena looked out at the dark void where fragile lights struggled against nothingness. Humanity had always dreamed of first contact. They never imagined first contact would mean becoming lifelines. Elena smiled slightly. Looks like we're about to find out what humans are really made of. And for the first time since arriving, Surail's glow shone bright and steady, like hope reborn in borrowed light. The alien ships were dying. Their light flickered like candles in a storm, drifting closer to New Horizon Station. Inside each vessel, faint life signatures trembled on Elena's scanner. And every single one of them was destabilizing. Commander, we don't have time, Elena said. They won't survive transport delays. On the station, Commander Idris Hale stood silent for several seconds. He was a military man. Procedure, caution, protocol, that was his world. But this was something no protocol covered. Dr. Mara Iqbal leaned toward the camera feed. Commander, human neural activity is acting like a dimensional stabilizer. If enough humans establish physical proximity or neural resonance, we may create a stable field. Speak plainly, Hale said. We hold their hands, Mara answered. All of them. Hale looked at the drifting alien ships again. Humanity's first confirmed alien refugees. Open the station, he ordered. Elena felt Surail's emotional surge, relief mixed with fear. You're not alone anymore, Elena whispered. Within 2 hours, the first alien transport docked with New Horizon. The docking bay lights dimmed as the ship entered. The vessel shimmered, unstable. Parts of its structure seemed to flicker in and out of existence. A medical team waited inside. Not in armored suits. Not behind shields. But with bare hands. As the alien hatch opened, a wave of strange, cold energy swept through the bay. Inside were 3 beings similar to Surail, tall, luminous, and fading. One collapsed immediately as it crossed into the station. Nurse Adrian Cole did not hesitate. He rushed forward and grabbed the alien's hands. The effect was instant. The flickering stopped. The glow stabilized. The alien's eyes opened wide in shock. The entire medical team froze. It worked, Adrian whispered. One by one, human crew members stepped forward, pairing with alien refugees. Every contact brought stabilization. Every touch pushed back extinction. Across the docking bay, humans became anchors. And something else began to happen. The station systems started detecting a low-frequency resonance building in the air. Dr. Mara Iqbal stared at her monitors in awe. "They're syncing," she breathed. The human brains on the station, dozens of unique patterns, were overlapping with alien quantum signatures. Instead of chaos, the combination created balance. Human emotion. Alien structure. Human unpredictability. Alien coherence. It was not just survival. It was harmony. But the crisis was far from over. More alien ships emerged from deep space. 10. 20. Too many. New Horizon was not built for this. Commander Hale watched the tactical display with growing concern. "We can't house them all," he said. Elena, still holding Sorrel's hand inside the crystalline ship, responded calmly. "We don't need to house them. We need to connect." "What are you suggesting?" Hale asked. Elena looked at Sorrel. Through their bond, she felt an idea forming, not from alien logic, but from human imagination. What if physical contact isn't the only way? Elena said slowly. Mara's eyes widened. Neural broadcasting. Yes. Humanity had built communication networks that spanned solar systems. Signals carried voices, data, emotions. What if they could carry consciousness? Mara began typing rapidly. "If we amplify synchronized human brainwaves and project them as quantum resonance fields, we could create a station-wide anchor," Elena finished. Commander Hale hesitated only briefly. "Do it." Within hours, New Horizon transformed from a research station into something unprecedented. Volunteers filled the central atrium. Engineers rewired communication arrays. Scientists recalibrated transmitters not to send signals, but to broadcast human neural patterns. The plan was simple in theory. Humans would sit in synchronized meditation, focusing together. Their brainwaves would be mapped, amplified, and projected as a stabilizing quantum field. Simple. Except no one had ever tried turning human consciousness into life support before. Sorrel looked into Elena's eyes. Fear flickered there. Not fear for herself. Fear for humanity. "You trust us?" Elena asked gently. Sorrel placed her other hand over Elena's heart. The answer was clear. The broadcast began. At first, nothing happened. The alien ships continued flickering. Some refugees inside the station still required direct contact. Sweat formed on Mara's forehead as she adjusted frequency harmonics. "Human neural patterns are too chaotic," she muttered. "We need coherence." Elena closed her eyes. She remembered something simple. Humanity was never strongest when perfectly ordered. They were strongest when united by purpose. "Elena, to all volunteers," she said over comms. "Don't try to think the same thought. Think of why you're here." Silence filled the atrium. Then something shifted. One engineer thought of saving a child. A nurse thought of protecting life. A pilot thought of hope. Different thoughts. Same intention. The resonance stabilized. Mara gasped. "It's locking in." The station hummed. Outside, the flickering alien ships slowed their fading. Light returned to their hulls. On Elena's scanner, dozens of life signs moved from critical to stable. Cheers erupted across the station. But Elena noticed something else. The resonance was not one-sided. The aliens were responding. Their quantum fields were strengthening the human broadcast. The feedback loop intensified. And suddenly, the entire station glowed. Not physically, but perceptually. Humans across New Horizon felt something vast brush against their minds. Not invasion. Connection. A network far older than humanity. Sorrel stood taller now, her glow radiant. Through their link, Elena felt pride. Her people had once believed only advanced, higher-dimensional species could anchor existence. They had never considered humans. Messy, emotional, stubborn, beautifully real. Commander Hale stared at the stabilized fleet on his display. "How many?" he asked quietly. Mara checked her readings. 43 ships. 43 civilizations saved by a species that had only recently learned to leave its own planet. But as relief spread, a new signal appeared on the outer sensors. A massive distortion. Unlike the refugees, this energy signature was violent, unstable, hungry. Mara's face went pale. "That's not a ship," she whispered. Elena felt Sorrel's fear surge like a tidal wave. It followed them, Elena realized. The collapse of their dimension had not been natural. Something had consumed it. And now it had traced the survivors here. The distortion expanded, a wound in space. Human minds trembled under its pressure. The alien refugees flickered again. The anchor field weakened. Commander Hale's voice turned sharp. "Options." Elena stood slowly, still holding Sorrel's hand. "We've been thinking like doctors," she said. "Now we need to think like humans." Outside the station, the dark distortion pulsed closer. It expected fragile prey. It expected fear. It had no idea what humanity truly was. And for the first time since it began devouring dimensions, it had found resistance. The distortion in space did not move like a ship. It expanded. Slowly. Patiently. Like a mouth opening. Across New Horizon Station, the lights flickered as gravitational readings twisted into impossible shapes. The alien refugees began trembling again, their forms shimmering as if the darkness outside was pulling at them. "It's trying to destabilize the anchor," Mara said, her hands flying across the console. "It feeds on dimensional collapse." Elena felt Sorrel's fear spike through their connection. But beneath the fear, there was something else. Shame. "It destroyed your home," Elena whispered. Sorrel's reply was not words. It was memory. A vast, silent intelligence moving through higher dimensions, feeding not on matter, but on structure. It consumed coherence itself. It thrived on isolation. The more fragmented a civilization was, the easier it collapsed. Elena looked toward the observation window at the swirling distortion. "It's not attacking with weapons," she said slowly. "It's attacking connection." Commander Hale turned toward her. "Explain." "It weakens bonds. Separates systems. Breaks synchronization. That's how it collapses dimensions." Mara's eyes widened. "If it disrupts the resonance field, the refugees lose stability. And if enough destabilize at once," Elena finished, "the collapse spreads." The station trembled again. Several human volunteers staggered in the atrium as pressure built inside their skulls. The distortion pulsed brighter. It was testing them. Humanity had answered the first challenge with cooperation. Now the real test had begun. "We amplify," Elena said suddenly. Mara looked at her. "The field is already at maximum safe output." "Not the machines," Elena replied. "The people." Hale frowned. "Doctor, we are not a weapon." Elena shook her head. "No. We're something it doesn't understand." She looked at Sorrel, whose glow had dimmed but not vanished. "It feeds on collapse," Elena continued. "On beings who lose hope. On systems that fracture." She turned toward the central broadcast. "So we don't fracture." The distortion expanded again, pressing closer. Several alien refugees cried out as their forms flickered violently. The anchor field wavered. Elena grabbed the station-wide channel. "All volunteers, listen carefully." Her voice was calm, clear, human. "That thing out there survives because civilizations break under pressure. It expects fear. It expects isolation." She took a breath. "Don't give it that." Silence filled the station. Then she continued. "Think of the first time humanity faced something bigger than itself. The oceans. The sky. Space. Every time, we were afraid. But we didn't run. We reached for each other. In the atrium, humans tightened their circles. Hands clasped. Shoulders pressed together. Different languages. Different cultures. One purpose. We are not perfect, Elena said. We argue. We disagree. We make mistakes. But when it matters, we choose to stand together. Mara adjusted the broadcast parameters. Emotional coherence rising, she whispered. The distortion pulsed violently. As if irritated. Sorrel's grip tightened. Through their bond, Elena felt something new. Not fear. Awe. Her people had evolved in structured harmony, precise and elegant. But humans. Humans were chaotic, unpredictable, and impossible to isolate. The distortion lashed outward. A shockwave rippled across the station. Several lights exploded. 2 alien refugees destabilized completely, their bodies dissolving into streams of light. Without hesitation, nearby humans lunged forward, grabbing them, stabilizing them. No one ran. No one let go. Mara's instruments screamed warnings. The entity is increasing dimensional shear. It's trying to tear the resonance apart. Elena felt the pressure building in her own mind. It was whispering. Subtle. Cold. It projected thoughts of doubt. What if you fail? What if you are not enough? What if you let them die? For a split second, her concentration wavered. Sorrel's glow dimmed. And in that moment Elena understood. This was not just a force. It was intelligent. It attacked belief. Elena straightened. No, she whispered. She looked at the humans in the atrium. Sweating. Straining. Holding strangers and aliens alike. We are enough, she said aloud. And then she did something no alien civilization had ever tried. She laughed. Not out of madness. But defiance. The sound carried through the broadcast channel. Raw. Human. You picked the wrong species, she said toward the distortion beyond the glass. We specialize in impossible. The volunteers began laughing too. Not because it was funny, but because fear did not get the final word. The resonance spiked. Mara gasped. The emotional harmonics just stabilized the field. The alien refugees brightened. Their combined quantum signatures began pushing back. The distortion faltered. For the first time, it recoiled. It had never faced prey that bonded under pressure. Never encountered minds that grew stronger together. Elena felt Sorrel's energy surge through her. And something else happened. The anchor field shifted. It was no longer just humans stabilizing aliens. The aliens began stabilizing humans. Sorrel's people amplified coherence in higher dimensions. Humanity amplified it in physical space. Together, they formed a bridge the distortion could not fracture. The dark mass writhed. Space bent around it. It tried one final surge, a massive collapse wave. The station shook violently. Alarms screamed. But the human chain held. Hands locked. Hearts steady. And the wave broke against them. Like water against stone. The distortion shrank. Not destroyed. But repelled. It retreated slowly into the void between stars. Hunting easier prey. Far from the species that refused to let go. Silence returned to New Horizon. Slowly, the glow in the atrium faded to normal lighting. Humans released each other. Some collapsed from exhaustion. Some cried. Some simply sat in stunned disbelief. Mara checked the scanners. It's gone, she whispered. All 43 refugee ships were stable. Sorrel stood fully luminous now, more radiant than Elena had ever seen her. She placed both hands over Elena's. This time, the connection felt different. Stronger. Balanced. Through their bond, Elena felt gratitude beyond words. But also respect. Her people had believed themselves advanced beyond physical species. They had been wrong. Elena smiled softly. We're not the strongest species in the universe, she said quietly. We're just very hard to break. Commander Hale approached slowly. For the record, he said, this was not in any emergency manual. Elena laughed. Maybe it should be. Outside the station windows, the refugee fleet stabilized into organized formation. Not fleeing. Not fading. Staying. Humanity had not just saved them. Humanity had changed the rules. And somewhere beyond visible space, a predator learned something new. Some civilizations collapse when tested. Others unite. And when humans unite, even the darkness has to step back.